Hey, it's Dave. Welcome back to my channel. That's a little song called Who Knows from Band of Gypsys by Jimi Hendrix. And I just like doing my own thing on it. It takes some of the Jimmy licks, and it's just a fun thing to play with. I just always like that song. One of my favorites. In fact, Band of Gypsys album is one of my all-time favorites. And there's a new version of it that has all four shows from the two nights. There's an early show and a late show on December 31st, 69, and then January 1st, 1970 is an early show and a late show. And there's a version, like a box set or a double CD thing that has both nights. That's great. Definitely worth getting. I'm not sure how many CDs it comes on because I have the digital download of it. So, but it's great. It really is great. I just wanted to talk a little bit about some past videos that I've done and some comments. So there was a comment about my Australian video about the couple of bands, Hoodoo Gurus. I used to like the Hoodoo Gurus. I saw them live actually years ago. I want to say like in 1986 when they played around at Great Woods. I saw them live, and they were fun. I didn't love them, and I thought they had kind of more. They had a lot of exposure in the States in the 80s, and as well as the Church. I used to love the album. I think it was called Northeast, Southwest by the Church. I don't know if I have the order or the directions on the album title. It's the one that had Starfish and Under the Milky Way. It was a great album. I thought the album after that with Metropolis wasn't as good, and I thought they actually had a lot of exposure in the States. I mean, if you say to most people that's around my age and ask them if they knew the Church, they'd be like, yeah, sure, an 80s band. But ask them who Cold Chisel is, and they're like, or the Angels, and they'd be like, huh? So that's kind of like where I was with that. And I know I did bring in Little River Band and stuff, but I just think that they don't get the recognition. But the Hoodoo Gurus, I thought, and Church were good bands. So, I mean, those are good points, and I'm glad you made them. They weren't my favorites, so that's kind of why I neglected them, or negated them, if you will. The next thing was somebody was saying about the Ghost Show. They were commenting that they thought the sound was perfect, but they had earplugs in. And yeah, if I had earplugs in, I think that show would have been perfect too. Because as long as I had the kind of earplugs that keep the highs in, because most of the time when I use ear protection, it cuts out all the high end, and I hate it. And it's like I'd rather suffer with my ears ringing the next day than have to listen to a muffled concert. So I thought that was a good point. In the Dunning-Kruger section of the videos that I did, I said I don't want to be the best. That's not true. I want to be the best guitar player that I can be, and but I'm not competing with other people. I am competing very heavily with myself to constantly be improving and making myself a better player, improving my sound, just doing a lot of things to improve myself. I'm competing with myself. As far as going out for gigs, then you're competing with other players, but not really, because either you're the right guy for the gig or you're not. But what I meant by I don't want to be the best is I don't want to be revered as the guy who oh, this guy's the fastest. Here's the superlative kings, the guys out there that want to have the superlative of, there's some guy on YouTube and he's like, I'm the fastest guitar player, and he tries to play and it's like, great, you can play like shit on one song super fast, but what does that do for you as a musician? I don't really, I don't think so. I don't know. Like, if you watch some of the solos that I played, I mean, I can play fast stuff. I used to be heavily into the whole Ingve thing. I like it, and it's a good tool to have. Everything's good to have in your tool shed to learn how to play. So if you can tap and you can do that, that's great. These are great things to have in your toolbox. You got to go out. That's what you need to do. But as far as banking on that and saying, well, I'm the fastest, it's like, yeah, good for you. That's lovely. I hope you're liking the videos. If there's a topic you want me to hit upon. Somebody mentioned a guitar, but I wasn't really sure what brand. They said like a V100 when I did the Chibson review. But what is that, an Epiphone? I don't know. So tell me what it was, because you were just like, the model V100 you should do a review of. And I'm like, the hell is it? Yeah, my pedals. Yeah, they seem... somebody messaged me privately and was like, a friend of mine, that they seem daunting. It's really not as difficult as it looks. And it's so much more for just getting certain sounds that I need when I'm playing live in a cover band, Obviously, I'm playing when I used to do my own stuff, and I used like my dual rectifier. I mean, I was using three sounds: the green channel, the orange channel, and the red channel. I didn't really use any pedals except for a delay through the effects loop. And I had a version. Well, I have a version 2 dual rectifier, and the effects loop is parallel, and it sucks. And so years ago, when I had the band The Big Angry, I would go out and play, and every time I would turn on that delay pedal, it'd be a phase. I'd sound like a phaser was going on. So I would call line 6. Line 6 is like, it's not us. I called Mesa. It's not us. Called line 6. It's not us. I called Mesa. It's not us. Whatever. I was just like, it just sucked because basically I would just use the delay for solos, and then if I felt like the phaser was causing a problem, I'd be like, I got it. No. So anyway, years later, I'm managing a store, and we introduced Mesa Boogie, and they tell me there's a version 3, and it's got a series loop. And I said, what's the difference? And the guy goes, well, there's some pedals that will phase. And I'm like, you. So basically, I went to the Hollywood store, and for a small fee, I got, I think the guy's name was John at the Hollywood store. I got John to modify my amp to a series loop instead of a parallel loop. So now I should not have any phasing. I haven't even had a chance to gig with that amp yet because basically I just use a Hot Rod Deluxe. I should have showed you in the video. And next, I have a gig tomorrow night, so next video I'll show you the whole rig. I use a Hot Rod Deluxe that has a Celestian. It came out in 2009. It's called like the Bluesman because it's blue and it's got the blue chicken knobs. But and hopefully I'll be able to get some video. I might take the video out tomorrow because I'm not taking the lap steel, so that'll be one less thing that I can bring. So I could probably have room to bring my camera and tripod. So also recently, my buddy Holmesy went out and bought a Timmy pedal because I've been highly recommending the Timmy pedal. So he went out and got it. And then the sneaky bastard sent me an email showing Pro Guitar, is it ProGuitar.com? Selling the Trinity version 2 reverb for $50 off the price. So it was $99. So of course I bought it. Now I got to figure out what pedal I want to lose off my board so I can add another reverb in. Do I get rid of the new neighbor Seraphim and replace it? Because I wouldn't mind having two reverbs, keeping one on shimmer and then one on like a long, nice reverb, like a long plate. I mean, we'll see how it goes. I don't want to lose the flanger, but I'm feeling that's the only pedal I really don't use. It's just, I mean, I'm just not using it. But I'd hate to lose it. And then I thought, well, then do I lose the Univibe? Because sometimes the Univibe just doesn't do it for me, and I end up shutting it off and putting on the Helix Phaser. It has a richer sound sometimes. You know, the only time the Univibe to me sounds better when it's clean. When I put dirt in front of it, it just, the sound quality, and I'm sure that's what they dealt with back then. But to me, it's just like, it goes to like such a lo-fi sound that I'm not digging it 100%. So maybe that comes off. I don't know. What do you think? Let me know what you think about that. And that's about it. I just wanted to keep this video nice and short. With a little playing, just to put something up because I had nothing going on. And, very good.